Hello everyone, you are on the channel. Today we're diving into a topic that sounds like it's straight out of a fantasy novel. The Black Mirror. But this isn't about a fairy tale queen. We're talking about a real historical object, an artifact steeped in mystery, alchemy, and the quest for knowledge. So who created this enigmatic object, and how did it come to be? Let's find out. Our story begins in the turbulent and fascinating world of 16th century England during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. The central figure in this tale is a man named John Dee. If you haven't heard of him, you're in for a treat. Dee was no ordinary courtier. He was a brilliant mathematician, an accomplished astronomer, a skilled navigator, and a geographer. He was one of the most learned men of his age, a true Renaissance polymath. But he was also deeply involved in what we would now call the occult, specifically Hermetic philosophy, alchemy, and divination. Dee believed that the universe was a complex web of divine messages, and that with the right tools and knowledge, he could communicate with celestial beings, or angels. He wasn't seeking power for personal gain. In his mind, he was on a holy mission to acquire divine wisdom to benefit all of mankind. For years he tried various methods of scrying, staring into reflective surfaces like crystals or water, hoping to make contact. But he had little success. Dee lamented that while he could understand the complex language of mathematics and the stars, the language of the spirits remained closed to him. This is where another key figure enters the story, Edward Kelly. Kelly was a much more shadowy character. He arrived at Dee's home in 1582, claiming to be a spirit medium, a scryer who could see and hear what Dee could not. Dee was initially skeptical, but after a trial session where Kelly seemingly made contact with an angel named Uriel, Dee was convinced. He had found his conduit to the divine. Together, they embarked on a series of angelic conversations. Dee would pose the questions and Kelly would gaze into a scrying tool, relaying the complex visions and messages he received. But what exactly was he looking into? For a long time, it was believed their main tool was a crystal ball, Dee's showstone. But another, more mysterious object was also in his possession, a dark, polished, handheld mirror. This mirror is the artifact we now call the Black Mirror. For centuries, its exact origin and purpose were debated. Was it the primary tool for their angelic conversations? And where did it come from? Fast forward to the 21st century. The mirror, which now resides in the British Museum, was subjected to a battery of scientific tests to uncover its secrets. Researchers used portable X-ray fluorescence analysis, a non-destructive way to determine the mirror's chemical composition. The results were astounding. The mirror wasn't made of jet, coal, or any European material as previously thought. It was crafted from a single, solid piece of obsidian, a type of volcanic glass. And the chemical signature of this particular obsidian was a perfect match for one specific location on Earth, Pachuca in modern-day Mexico. This discovery completely changed our understanding of the mirror. It was an Aztec artifact. The Aztecs, or more accurately the Mexica people, held obsidian in extremely high regard. They called it istli and considered it a sacred material with spiritual properties. They expertly polished it to create mirrors that were not used for checking one's reflection in the way we do today. Instead, these mirrors were ritual objects, portals to other realms. They were associated with Tezcatlipoca, a central deity in their pantheon whose name literally means smoking mirror. He was a god of the night sky, of memory, and of divination, a powerful, unpredictable creator god who could see everything that happened in the world. Aztec priests would use these obsidian mirrors for scrying, for foretelling the future, and for communicating with the gods. So how did a sacred Aztec ritual object end up in the hands of Queen Elizabeth's court philosopher in London? The timeline fits perfectly. The Spanish conquest of the Aztec Empire began in 1519. During this period, vast quantities of Aztec treasures, including obsidian mirrors, were looted and shipped back to Europe. They became objects of fascination in the royal courts and curiosity cabinets across the continent. It's highly probable that John Dee acquired his mirror from this influx of New World artifacts. He might have purchased it from a trader, or received it as a gift, recognizing it as a powerful tool for his own scrying ambitions, perhaps without ever knowing its true cultural origins. It's fascinating to think about this incredible journey. An object crafted with immense skill and spiritual significance by Aztec artisans in Mexico, used in rituals dedicated to a powerful god, then travels across the Atlantic Ocean. It passes through the chaos of the conquest, arrives in Europe as a curiosity, and finds its way into the study of one of England's greatest minds. There, it's repurposed for a completely different, yet strangely similar purpose: to pierce the veil between worlds and communicate with supernatural entities. John Dee and Edward Kelly's collaboration, using this very mirror, produced volumes of angelic scripts, filled with complex prophecies and a unique angelic language called Enochian. Their work became a cornerstone of Western esotericism for centuries to come. The mirror itself became a legend, a symbol of the occult, of forbidden knowledge, and the quest to understand the unseen. So when we ask, who created the black mirror, the answer is twofold. It was physically created by the skilled hands of an unknown Aztec craftsman hundreds of years ago, imbued with the spiritual beliefs of their culture. But it was symbolically created, or rather recreated, by John Dee, whose intellectual and spiritual ambitions transformed it into the legendary artifact we know today. It stands as a powerful testament to the universal human desire to connect with something beyond our immediate reality, a desire that transcends culture, time, and geography. From a sacred tool of an Aztec god, to an angelic communication device in Elizabethan England, and now a prized museum piece, the Black Mirror's story is a remarkable journey through history, belief, and the enduring mystery of the unknown. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the past. What do you think about the mirror's incredible history? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next exploration into the fascinating corners of history. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.